at the planting and the management of this particular plant until harvest. My name is Kelvin Nyakundi. Join us as we get into this. All right, thank you so much for joining us today. And Sasa, let's start and look at the basics first of all, the history of this very unique crop, Yacon. How did you discover it, and where actually did it even come from first of all?
I'm Daniel Gitau Zairo, the founder of Wanda Innovations Limited. We are located in Kimonyo, Gatundu South, Kiambu County. We are mostly known for the multi-story garden, where we plant vegetables in a very small space using the Wanda multi-story garden. As I said, we are innovators, and we also farm wonderfully. So we do not just farm. So when I learned about Yacon, and I learned that it came from Peru, South America, and it has been used for centuries. But this is a very new plant in Kenya, not more than 5 years old. Then I came across a friend of mine who was growing. He's the one who supplied me with the first seedlings, and I purchased 40 of them. And they do not come cheap, because one costed 500 shillings.
One seedling?
Yes. So I came and planted the seedlings here in my farm. But because I do not just do farming, I do it innovatively. I just used what I use and what I'm known for.
Okay.
Wanda multi-story garden.
Right.
Because I learned that you have to heap the soil. You have to heap the soil in a conical shape. Then you plant it. Because we have dry seasons and wet seasons. It can work very well with the wet seasons. But in the dry seasons, when you come to irrigate or watering, you find that all the water will be going to the sides.
Right.
So that's why I came to use this concept of Wanda multi-story garden, using one layer, sometimes 2 layers, so that when you are irrigating using a hose pipe or drip irrigation, the water will just go into the plant instead of spilling sideways.
All right. Let me take you back. After you discovered this particular plant, and first of all, you've said 5 years, so we're in 2026. When did you discover it, and how long has it been in your farm before we even move to the irrigation part and everything else? How long has it been in your farm?
I discovered it is in Kenya just last year. In the month of June. And I implemented planting it in the month of September.
Last year?
Yes, last year. And it takes 7 months to mature.
Okay.
So,
all right. Before we go there, when you are preparing your land, especially your garden, for it to receive the seedlings of the Yacon, mkulima anafaa kufanya nini ili shamba yake iwe ready to receive the Yacon seedlings? What is it that a farmer who is seated at home akitaka kuingia kwa farming kama hii anaweza fanya ili shamba lake iwe able to receive the seedlings za Yacon?
Kuprepare shamba ni lazima kwanza uchimbe shimo. If you are using the conventional way, ukichimba hiyo shimo itakuwa 3 feet by 3 feet, itakuwa round. Alafu utamix hiyo mchanga na mbolea at a ratio of 1:1. Then you take your tuber or a seedling, ndio sasa upande huko. The reason why you dip a deep hole is for the leaves to have a soft landing. So when it comes to harvest after 7 months, it's just uprooting yourself, the tuber and the plant itself. Then you replant again.
Okay. So you've dug your hole, You've 3 feet. You said 3 feet, right?
3 feet by 3 feet.
By 3 feet, right? Yes. So after you've dug your hole, you've put your tuber there. So now, as a farmer or a new farmer who is handling this, unaweza muadvise afanye nini, especially to make it grow, not even to make it grow, to help it grow. Kwa sababu many farmers, they usually plant many crops. They use the right system or the right way of doing it, but at the middle of the growth, the plant remains stunted. But as we can see around here, the plants are really thriving. So during the period that you've put the tuber there, before even the 7 months, let's look at month 2 or 3. What is it that a farmer needs to do?
Let me say first, the hole, I have said the hole is
3 feet by 3 feet.
By 3 feet depth. Then the spacing should be at least 4 feet from each hole. And you have to use the manure. After using the manure, then you do your tubers. After doing your tubers, you should plant. It's always good to plant in the rainy season because not all people have the advantage of irrigating. So in the rainy season, especially in the month of March to April, that's the best time to plant. But you can also do it using irrigation the way we do it here. Because it's a tuber. It just looks like a sweet potato. In fact, it's very hard to distinguish it from a sweet potato. You raise the garden if you are using the irrigation, because it has to be conical. The ground, it has to be. It doesn't have to be to go that deep. It has to be dead conical. What you do, we just surround it with this polythene paper we use for the multi-story garden. And then that one will ensure that the water for irrigation is not being lost in the sides.
Okay. All right. That's very, very nicely explained. So now, after irrigation, tuangalie kitu ambayo inaitwa manure. You had spoken about manure, especially wakati unaanza kuplant, vile umeweka the whole, you mix the mchanga with manure, right? So, as you are growing this particular plant, what kind of fertilizer unaweza advise mkulima atumie? Na pia kwa shamba lako unatumia which type of fertilizer? Ama unatumia, kama ni organic, unaweza tuambia una mix nini na nini? Na pia kama ni hiyo ingine the commercial one that is used, unaweza tuambia pia ni gani yenye unatumia?
Okay. Farming wonder, we use organic farming. So we do not use synthetic fertilizers because it doesn't take that long. It's only 7 months for maturity. We just manure once, but you can also top up mostly with goat manure or cow manure. But we do not recommend fertilizers, commercial fertilizers. Yes.
Okay. So, after now you've done the irrigation, you've done fertilizer, you're using organic fertilizer. Let's go to the management of the plant over the 7 months. Because 7 months, kwa mtu anaweza angalia aseme 7 months ni kidogo na mwingine anaweza sema ni mingi. Yeah. So over 7 months as a farmer who is handling Yacon, ni nini ambayo wengi wakulima wanafaa kuzingatia so that their plant thrives like what we are seeing here?
Apart from watering, no other management is needed, because the leaves, when they are used up, they just fall off, and they also act as manure for the same crop.
So what is that one thing that a farmer can do wrong so that they don't grow to the level that they've grown? What will make the plant stay stunted over the period that it's growing?
First, you have to check on the weeding. You have to weed, and maybe after 3 months you can top up with manure. Yeah, and the spacing now you have to check on it, because now if they are too close, they will not thrive.
Right. And the pests and diseases, because of course as a farmer of this particular plant, unaweza tuambia magonjwa ambayo yanakumba mmea kama huu, na ni njia gani ama ni njia zipi ambazo mkulima anaweza tumia ili making sure that the plant inasimama wima na ina grow, pia unakuwa able to harvest?
The best thing with this plant, yenyewe ni dawa pia. So tangu ni pande sijaona ati isumbuliwa ati na pest. So ni kuirrigate kama kuna jua, ama because it doesn't need a lot of water. Yeah, it can also be rain fed and do well. Yes.
Okay. So what if mtu anataka kuplant in maybe an area ambayo mvua inyeshi sana, so hii plant ina thrive well wapi, especially when you look at around Kenya, now that you've been farming it?
Sana sana ina thrive pahali kwa loam soil. Although pia inaweza fanya kwa cotton soil, but sija pilot kwa cotton soil. Lakini it does best in loam soil. It can be red, it can be white or gray.
And now in this particular, let's now stick to just the loam soil and look at as a farmer, after you have harvested your plant, because we've looked at the plant, how it's growing, imefika 7 months, now imefika time yako ya kuharvest. After you've harvested, the soil that you've left from where the plant was, how do you manage it for it now maybe to be ready for the next planting season?
Because my farm is small, there's no space to shift. So what I do is just to dig another hole, and then I mix the soil with manure, and then I plant immediately. Yes, because it's a one-time crop. You harvest one, but if you need for home consumption, you can just take off 1 or 2 and consume in the house. Yes.
All right. So let's look at also the climate. Now that we're speaking about this particular plant and the soil and everything, climate ya Kenya. Kwa sababu mmea huu, of course, vile umetuambia, Peru, the climate there and the climate here, of course, kuna difference, ndio. So how is it surviving, especially in the climate that we have in Kenya, and what is it that as a farmer you are doing in order to make it just thrive and also grow when it comes to climatic conditions? When you look at Kenya, how is it able to survive here?
I think Peru and Kenya share almost the same climate, because we are all in the tropics. So if it can do well in Peru, it can also do very well in Kenya.
Okay. All right. Thank you for that. And also, let's look at the different seasons that we have during the year. Because we usually have dry seasons. We usually have a season where maybe mvua hainyeshi vile inafaa, na kiwango cha mvua ni kidogo pia, si mingi sana. How does that affect you as a farmer and while you're growing mmea huu? Because umetuambia vizuri, kwanza ikigrow, kwanza mahali ambapo kuna rainfall, ina thrive vizuri. So what happens in a season when it's not raining? What usually happens?
As I said, we focus on innovation, and we have a solution for that. Where water is in scarcity or the rainfall is not adequate, we do the dam line around it, so that when you water it, the water will not just be lost. It will go direct to the plant. And in fact, we had a very dry spell before February. In fact, that time we were irrigating. We have also installed drip irrigation around it, and it helped a lot. So that's why you can see it's healthy, because in the dry spell, we are irrigating it.
Okay. Now, because it's a tuber, let's also look at other tubers and compare it with sweet potatoes and potatoes. Wewe kama mkulima, lazima ume come across potatoes and sweet potatoes. Na pia sasa Yacon. Ukiangalia Yacon, sweet potatoes and potatoes, ina compare aje? Is it more resilient? Inavumilia sana kushinda sweet potatoes ama potatoes? Or how does it behave when you look at sweet potatoes and potatoes?
The best thing with the tubers is that they store their own water. Like a tuber like cassava is a drought resistant plant because of its tuber. So even Yacon, just like sweet potatoes or cassava, we retain the grain because when it's dry, it will feed from the tubers.
Okay. So you as a farmer, of course you're taking care of this plant for 7 months. Ukiangalia routine ambayo mkulima anafaa kufuata in a day, kujaribu kuangalia, kupalilia, unafanya hivyo for after how long? Give us that duration and also how you take care of the plant.
I think I do it at random because there are always people here. So you just make sure you go around your shamba, unaangalia vile iko. Sometimes the stem may fall off. So you are supposed to leave them and maybe even tie them with a rope. Yes.
Na vile hii plant imegrow, tukiangalia ni mrefu. The leaves ziko huko juu. So let's look at also the predators, kama birds, kama huwa zinakuwa a challenge and how you deal with them.
Sijapata challenges. Isipokuwa tu ni maji tu peke yake. Ni maji tuko nayo in plenty. Because the tubers are underground. Hakuna kitu nimeona ikiwa shida. Sijaona hata wadudu, hata matawi, sijaona ndege.
Okay.
Na iko na difference kubwa sana na strawberry ambao nimekuza kwa miaka mingi. Because the strawberries have so many there's so many enemies. But this one sijawahi kuona pest yoyote ikisumbua.
Okay, so let's look at the leaves that of this particular plant, because vile umetuambia ikianguka chini inakuwa manure, si ndio? So as a farmer, wakati ambapo hii plant imefika the level that imefika, the height, when does it, especially, okay, tuseme 7 months imepita, umeangalia mmea wako lakini umeona haijakuwa mrefu, bado iko hapa katikati. Could it be that the plant has reached maturity and you are expecting it maybe iende huko juu? Ama what shows you that this particular plant is now ready for harvest? What are the indicators?
One indicator, it produces flowers, and I show you one about several which are producing flowers. So when you see it's producing flowers, that's the time you know that it's mature and ready for harvest.
And do we usually have maybe other plants among them zenye huwa they grow in midway, like they don't go all the way up? Do we have zenye huwa maybe hazifiki huko juu, zinakaa hapa katikati?
Tuko nazo kama strawberry ambazo tumekuza kwa miaka mingi. Hizo strawberry haziendi juu sana, na because of our innovation spirit, we have even mixed Yacon with strawberries.
Okay. So with mixing with strawberries, now when you look at how that is helping Yacon grow, when you mix, what is it that you're helping the plant to do when you're mixing it with strawberry?
You know, each plant got what it takes from the soil, different nutrients. So you find the nutrients which is taken by Yacon are not taken by the strawberry. And we make sure that when you are planting strawberry, the strawberry are planted where the tubers of the Yacon do not reach. So we are able to utilize the area economically, planting 2 crops in one area.
Okay, that's good. So let's look at also the soil health, because many crops usually help the soil with nutrients. So for Yacon specifically, kiangalia ile advantage ambayo iko nayo kwa soil, what would be the advantage after you've grown Yacon for this time that you've grown, and then imefika vile imefika, ni nini ambayo imefanyia shamba lako yenye ambayo unaweza tuambia hii shamba ilikuwa hivi before nilete Yacon, but after kuileta hii mmea shamba langu limekuwa hivi, ama the soil has gained some sort of nutrients?
Yote tumeiona kwa kuchanganya na hizo strawberry kwa sababu, lakini sana tunataka kuconcentrate na Yacon peke yake, although hii ilikuwa tu ni experiment kukuza na strawberry, because strawberry pia do not like shade. Ukiona zile ziko kwa canopy ziendelee vizuri, so ni vizuri pia kukuza Yacon peke yake, because it's a very high value crop, because 1 kilo is retailing from 500 shillings even to 1,000.
Okay. For the market na hiyo tutaongea baadaye, tutafika tu hapo. Now let's look at now that you've mentioned about harvest and this plant, it has grown, it's mature enough. How do you store your harvest, the harvest from this particular plant? How do you store it, and how do you make sure that you don't get losses? Because many of the farm produce huwa zinaharibika after harvesting. So where do you store it, and under which conditions do you store it in?
Yacon has many advantages because we cannot consider it as a perishable crop, because once it's freshly picked, it's not as sweet as if it stays for if it's there for 1 week after harvesting, it becomes sweeter, because by that time itakuwa imepoteza maji. So the longer it stays, the sweeter it becomes.
Okay. The longer it stays, the sweeter it becomes. All right. There you have it. We are still speaking about Yacon type of plant. We're going to be looking at it on the second part and look at how the harvesting is done, how all this storage is done, and how even it helps you there at home. Don't go too far. We'll be back with more. All right, welcome back. This is Farm Kenya Show right here on KTN, and today we are speaking about a very unique plant. And this plant is known as Yacon. Remember, before we went for break, we were speaking about the growing and also the management of this particular plant. It takes 7 months to grow. You can compare it with sweet potatoes and also potatoes, but this is a different type of tuber. We're going to now be looking at how you can plant it at home and what are the practices when it comes to soil, when it comes to how you're going to plant this particular tuber. So join us even as we get right into this. Asante sana kwa kukana sisi. So now we want to see how we are going to be preparing our small particular area of the shamba that we've chosen. So tuambie what you need to look at first of all when you're now preparing this.
Kitu ya kwanza kuangalia ni lazima pahali unapandia mchanga iwe nzuri. Na tena mchanga isiwe ati that hard. Kwa hivyo inatakikana sasa kwanza upalilie, ndio sasa mmea ikianza kumea ikuwa kubwa, hizo roots zinapata a soft landing. Now because we are innovators, we are farming wonder and we farm wonderfully. What we do is using our innovative HDPE sheet for planting of Yacon. That one has an advantage because now if it's in the dry season, watering, the water will not spill out.
Okay, so it will retain the water.
Because if in the conventional way, you just heap kama vile ngwashe una hip. So ukimwagilia maji sitapotea tu.
Yes, itapotea.
But now to contain the water, that's why we are using the HDP.
Okay.
So it's very useful when you are managing the plant, especially in irrigation, and when you are uprooting, because now you just have to tear or unlock the boats. You just unlock the boats, and then it will be very, very easy to harvest your crop.
Okay.
So this time we are using the Wonder Multi-Story HDP material to plant Yacon.
All right. So let's look at what is it that first of all, what is it that you need to do?
You identify the space where you want to plant. You have to make sure the soil is loose. Then from there you can just plant the tuber, the small tuber, and you have to make sure that it has some fresh young shoots.
Okay.
So that when you water it or when it's rainy, then the shoots will just germinate.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So you can show us how you usually prepare the land.
Yes.
What you need to do, especially in terms of looking at the quality of the soil as well and everything else. So unaweza anza kutuonyesha so that at least we see what we are doing. So basically what he's doing here is making sure that the soil is mixed well enough because if you remember the first part of the show, we were speaking about the mixture of the soil with the manure. So that this is what he's doing, and he's using the panga to do that because it's a smaller space. So he can, you can just use anything, I think, to just mix the soil together. So after that, after the mixing, we'll see what he will be able to do. Yeah. So. Hii mchanga ambayo una mix hapa, do we have any manure that we are going to add here, right?
We're adding manure and then you mix it.
Okay, sawa. All right. And most of the time, the soil that you are using is, of course, the soil that has already even grown, and the medium that is there is the nutrients that are there, the roots and everything else. So he's creating another layer on top of the one on the ground in order for it now to hold whatever it is that is supposed to be held here, which is the soil as well. Yeah, so these are the bolts that he was showing us, the bolts, and now we are going to be adding the manure on top of it, and then I think we're going to mix, right?
Yes.
We're supposed to mix it. That's there. Yeah, so this is the manure mixing with the soil. And then now, after that, he's going to be showing us what we'll do in order for the tuber now to be held strongly on the ground in order for it now to start growing. So this is basically what you're supposed to be doing the whole time. So do you also plant the tuber on the sides, or it's just in the middle?
Yeah, it's better if you plant just one because the canopy will develop.
Yeah, will develop
it.
Yes. Yeah, okay.
Just one, and spacing is 4 feet from plant to plant. Okay,
all right. All right, so that is the soil that had spilled earlier on. So he's putting it back on the medium that we've created in the middle. That is what will be holding the tuber. Yeah, so after that, we're going to be learning what is it that we need to do when it comes to planting of this particular tuber. Okay, so hiyo ni enough, ama we still mix it?
Yeah, another bit.
Press it down.
It should be full.
Oh, up to the brim, right?
Yeah, please.
Okay.
So that it will be easy harvesting the corn.
All right. So you have to fill the space up to the top, and then when you fill it up to the top, it will be easier during harvesting. This is what he's saying. So we are going to be adding more soil on top and mixing it with the manure as well. Nah, it's okay. It's okay. The goodness is we are two, so we'll just help with whatever we have here.
watering can.
A watering can. Okay. All right, so we've filled the area where the tuber is going to be placed up to the brim. Remember, it's up to the brim. So he's going to bring the tuber, and then we're going to put it and see how it's placed there. So we can look at that. Alafu sasa utatuambia pia the tuber, what someone needs to look at when they are planting, so that at least we learn as well.
Here is the tuber which we plant, and we got it from a parent plant which has been harvested. And you have to make sure that it has shoots, so that when it's watered or when it rains, the shoots will just shoot up.
Yes.
To be a big plant, the way you see the one on the background.
Here. Okay.
So now I'm going to plant. Already the ground for planting is ready, and we are using the HDP material because now we want the tubers to have a soft landing, so they not be restricted with the hard soil. So the soil is very soft, and we have already mixed it with the manure. And the other advantage is that when you are harvesting, you just remove the polythene, and then you just harvest it very easy.
Okay.
So this is a very innovative way of planting Yacon.
All right. Now let's look at how you plant it, so that at least we see.
Planting is just very simple. You make sure you dig a small hole. Already the soil has manure. Then you put it at a depth of 1 inch.
Okay. And then you cover it.
Yeah, then you can cover it with the soil, just 1 inch. Then after that, you'll be watering, and after 1 week, the shoots will start appearing.
Okay.
And then after 7 months,
you are ready to
having your harvest.
All right. Before we even move on, now that we've covered it, does someone add water? So that at least, you want to make sure that your plant remains well. So does someone add water? And if it's water, what amount can be added? So that at least, after 1 week when you come back, do you have to water every day, or you now come back and water after 1 week?
If you are planting in the dry season, you have to water it so that it can germinate. But when it's raining, there's no need of watering. It's just like the way you plant potatoes.
All right. Okay, thank you so much for that demonstration. At least we've seen how the Yacon tuber is planted. We've looked at the preparation of the land, what you need to do, the space. Remember, you have to just dig not very deep in order for you to put the tuber on inside or on top of this particular system that we've placed here. So now we're going to look at how you harvest it. Now that we've seen how it's planted, 7 months later, when you come back and maybe you have a plant that is grown, how do you harvest it, so that at least at the end of the day you understand especially what is it that you do? And this is the mature one. This one has stayed here for 7 months. So we're going to be looking at what process is done, or what it goes through for us to harvest this. So unaweza tuambia especially what you look at, so that at least you release it from this particular space.
Okay. Sasa tunatumia HDP material. Iko heat resistant. It have a lifespan of over 10 years.
Wow.
And this is just our innovations, because we are innovators. Sasa nikiona badala ya pandie chini itakuwa shida hata kungoa. So we wanted to make it easier harvesting the Yacon. And right now mtaona vile tuna harvest.
Right, so that is basically releasing the soil. Yeah, and as we can see also, there are roots that have formed. Yes. So hiyo ni kutoanisha the mchanga yenye imeshikana, si ndio?
Yes. Okay. Yeah. You see, Now we start seeing the tubers.
Yeah, the tubers are there. So this is the Yacon. So when, as you continue, let's also speak about the market, the market that you have, because I remember before we went for break earlier on the first part, you spoke about the price that one tuber goes for. So you can tell us a little bit about that even as we continue to entangle this from the space.
In fact, I've been marketing before harvest. Like on Saturday 4th, we participated in the Harbour Festival in Michuki Park, Nairobi.
Okay.
And we talked to many customers and we showcased how we do Yacon. And in fact, we had so many contacts of those who are going to supply once we harvest. And now harvesting has started. So I know there are so many people with diabetes, health challenges, and it will be of much help because this one does not contain the harmful sugar.
Okay.
It's sugary, but the sugar has no nutritional value, and it has other ingredients.
Okay.
Which help the body.
Unaweza tuambia?
Yes.
Nini hii? Pole. Yeah, so this is the Yacon, and as we are looking at this, inakaa kama sweet potato, and also it looks like a potato. So this is what we were speaking about. We've been able to, this is the way of harvesting. As you remember, we've been just removing the soil around it, and also making sure that everything goes well. So this is basically the whole plant, and the roots are the parts that are harvested. So when it's removed, this is what will go to the shamba. Right, so unaweza tuambia kile ambacho unafanya and how you'll remove it from now. This huwa zimeshikana zote pamoja.
Sasa natoa mchanga ndio sasa hizo tubers ziwe ready. Tutazitoa moja, alafu pia tutapima. Hii si kubwa sana, lakini najua kuna zingine kubwa. Tutapima ndio sasa ionekane ile kitu tunaongea ni ukweli. Unaona itatoa kilo ngapi?
Aya, sawa. So unaweza tu
sasa let a bucket. Give us a clean bucket.
So we are removing, and he is removing the soil from the Yacon, so that at least we put it on this bucket. And then after this, we're going to be weighing them, because remember he told us he takes them to the market so that at least they can be sold and also get to the customers who need them, right? So at that time zenye huwa uki-harvest, unapata maybe kuna zenye zimeharibika kiasi, ama because they are underground, we don't usually see that.
It's very rare ziharibike kwa sababu they are very safe hapa. Kwa hivyo na hakuna wadudu wanazikula. Kwa sababu pia zenyewe ni dawa.
So mostly hapa unaweza harvest how many kilos?
From 4 kilos to 5 kilos.
Okay.
Na right now si kusema tu tutajionea wenyewe.
Tukienda kupima we will know exactly.
Si assumption. Hiyo ni kitu tutaona yenyewe.
Right. So when you look at them, you might think it's sweet potato, but clearly you can see there's some sort of a little bit of difference in a way. Yeah, but this is how, of course, usually tubers look like. And we are about to get done with the ones that we have harvested. This is a sample of what we have harvested, and before that, remember we weighed it, and it was of course 8 kgs, but what you saw on your screen was 7.7. That was minus this one. Yes, so this is what this is what has come out. Remember the journey that we've come, the whole journey, how the land is prepared, the manure and everything else, and what is involved in everything that we are doing. So this is what we've come up with. And before we go, I would like you to tell us, just give us an encouragement, young people out there who are trying to get into this type of farming, what they can do, so that at least we complete this.
I would like to advise young people that you have to be passionate about something. It doesn't matter whether you are trained in a certain field, but your interest is what counts and solving a problem. For example, me, I'm an old man, and when I came this Yacon, I found the way they are planting them has to be improved, and that's why I improvise the HDP polythene so that the tubers, we have a softer landing, and harvesting will also be too easy. And let me say that my background is not farming. In fact, it's engineering. I did electrical engineering back those days. And but my passion has always been farming, even when I was a small boy. Until I finished O levels, that's when I started seriously doing farming. And also, I'm an innovator. I'm the one who came up with this idea of planting vegetables on Wanda multi-story gardens.
All right, we've come to the end of this edition of Farm Kenya, and I'm holding on to one piece of Yacon. Remember, we harvested many earlier on, and I'm going now to break it. At least we taste and see what this is all about. And I'm going to pass it on to, of course, our farmer here today, and we're going to taste it together so that at least we see what this is all about.
The tasting ceremony is here.
This is really nice.
It's yummy.
It's very yummy. And this is something that at least you can plant at home as well. It tastes like carrot in a way. It tastes like carrot. And it's very, very sweet as well. So this is something that at least you can also plant at home. And you've had his advice, a youth out there. This is something you can plant at home and become a farmer even as we move on. My name is Kelvin Nyakundi. This is what I'll be eating as I finish the show. See you next time.